Yes, the boys of summer, Jimmy Smith and Michael Carayannis, about to wrap up our first week in the chair, Jimmy. And we're doing that thanks to Bryden's lawyers. Need a legal expert advice. That's what we do.
Thoughts? We had Western Sydney Eagle give some feedback. Thoughts on the first week?
Yeah, it's all right.
I enjoy it, Michael.
Yeah, it's good.
I enjoy it.
Bit of fun. Plenty of league news. That's the fun bit for me.
Here's the other bit of news too.
Yes.
A $400,000 average salary player does not get $249,334 after tax, gets $400,000, which equates to about $12,500 a month.
Big money.
Extra.
Big money. Big money.
Morning, boys of summer. Surely Big Mal is the number one coaching candidate for the PNG side, says Peaches.
I wouldn't have thought so. I wouldn't. How old will Mal be by then?
He's a god in that region.
He is.
But up to him. Chimmy, the PNG salary cap will be whatever the NRL allocates to each club plus the tax-free component, which is around 45%, meaning the virtual salary would be around $17 million in today's world. Yes, that's exactly what we mean, Michael.
Yeah, the salary cap will be the same.
The salary cap will be
by then, I'm going to say 15 mil.
And despite what Lionel says, you made the point again, which is the $400,000 a year player is actually wanting to get $600 tax-free.
Yeah. And
they'll fill up the rest of the squad with local players.
No, it's not going to be the case for every player, right? No. Every player will go, 400, but I can earn 400 tax-free, I'll go. But I still feel like, particularly in the first couple of years, they're going to have to pay overs for particular players to get them across.
And I think that makes sense.
They're going short side. Nickel Kluxter. Oh, what a pass! What a pass from Nickel Kluxter! You magician! And he's given it to Marcelo Montoya with a pass you will never see again in the NRL. Sometimes it baffles me how the Warriors can find themselves in this situation. This is the 16th place team in the NRL. They've won one of their last 12. They haven't won a single game away from home, and they're leading by 26 points. Against the team that made the top four last year and a preliminary final, and arguably only added to their stocks. It's hard to be a fan and be positive, but I just don't have an explanation for it.
Sammy Hewitt from SENZ.
Just machine gun.
He gets excited and disappointed, all rolled into one, which pretty much sums up the Warriors.
But nailed it.
Yes.
Nailed the Warriors 2024 season, which promised so much off the back end of last year and the good vibes and signing Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as well. You thought the fact that, okay, the Warriors could be a premiership threat in 2024, but it just never eventuated.
So that was my question. Their for and against was moderate, 21 points per game for, 24 against, so a negative for and against. And I'm looking at this last night when I'm looking at this review, Mick, and I'm trying to work out why.
Yeah.
Why did it happen? So Sean Johnson played 25 games in 2023. He had 29 try assists and 26 line break assists, which was 29 was the highest in the league. And then in 16 games, he did 15 try assists and 14 line break assists. It's not that far away on a pro rata basis. But he was looking at him to the naked eye. And then I looked at line engagements. He did as many line engagements in 24 that he did in 23 in 5 less games, or what was it, 8 less games. I can't work out how it happened for them.
I'm not sure they could work out how it happened either. But he almost won the Daily M last year, right?
Correct. Yep.
And then this season he was just so bad. He just looked like.
But those numbers don't suggest that he's so bad.
I know, but how many of those? I don't know. You'd have to sit down and work out how many of those were in junk time, like junk play, and were they on crucial moments with the game on the line and that sort of stuff. But the tight games they didn't win. Adam Fanua-Blake, they had that issue with Adam Fanua-Blake, and then the being dropped for disciplinary reasons.
Yep.
And he showed glimpses of being at his best, but didn't quite get there. I don't think Roger had the same impact we all anticipated, particularly at centre.
I literally have a note said Roger impact.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
No.
It wasn't there. I would have played him at fullback. And I would have shifted Chance to centre.
And they
Chance
might have
is a good player, but
they might have a similar situation that we talked about with AJ Brimson yesterday, and that is between Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Chance Nickel-Klukstar, and Tane Tuapeki. Who's your how do you hang on to those guys?
Still my number one's Roger. We know he was world class before he left the game. I would have given him a stint at fullback just to see.
Did he play one game there? I think
he did.
Yeah,
I think you're right, but I just thought he was and Chance is a solid first grader. Right, he's a good. He's better.
I think
than
he's
solid.
Getting better than that.
He's better than that, right?
You know what? Because he's developed that pass game.
But I think the impact that Roger at his best could have on a side far outweighs what Chance can have on a side.
I agree with that.
So Chance can do a good job at centre. I think he can do a good job at centre. I'd be playing Roger at 1.
Tohu Harris only played the 14 games.
Yeah,
Luke
hurts.
Metcalf,
Big out.
7 games. Yeah. And I thought, so again, I agree because I think he's was a great foil for Sean Johnson.
Yep.
Here's my concern around that. He only played 12 in 2023.
Yeah, and they've taken him. He's gone to. I'm pretty sure he went to Philadelphia to get those hamstrings looked at. His running game is an absolute threat.
Excellent.
He's underrated.
Excellent.
Right? I think if he can string 20 games together, he's going to be one of those halves where with an organising 7, who that 7 will be for them next year, I'm not sure.
Tanner
right?
Boyd?
Potentially.
Yes.
You know,
that doesn't excite me if I'm a Warriors fan.
Not a lot excites you around their options.
Yeah.
Right. So, but Metcalf is a lock.
Yep.
Right, for the 6 jersey. I think he's supremely talented. I think Wade Egan's game over the past 24 months has improved significantly, but he just looks battered all the time.
I was going to say, I reckon it regressed at stages because it was from a physical point of view.
He just looked battered. So the question is, can he play 80 minutes week in, week out? And if he can't, because he's such an important part of that side, and if you feel like he can't, then you got to restrict him a little bit to ensure that he gets through a season. If you have to nurse him through a season, you need to do it because he's so important for that side.
His ability to engage markers with
he's
that
underrated. I think he's really good.
Very
if
good
we look
player.
at the most improved players in the competition over the past 2 years, Jerry Marshall-King and Wade Egan are up there for mine.
It's simple. The Warriors overachieved the year before. They aren't as good as what everybody thought. And that's where I'm sort of arriving at, Ben. I'm like, why? Couldn't quite understand it. And the sellouts.
The sellouts every game.
Everything was
every home game.
Everything was there. Anyway, we'll do Warriorholic. We didn't play the same spine 2 weeks in a row all season. Injuries killed our continuity. And there were a few off-field issues, the Warriorholic.
Yeah, that hurts. Of course it does, not having that continuity there. But when you sit down and you're assessing a Warriors side and you're an opposition coach and you look at threats, and Roger's touching the ball 2 times in a set, that's a threat for mine. And we saw how good he was at kick returns when he was at his peak.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know. I'd be playing him at 1, provided they feel like he's got the legs for it. But Andrew Webster was pretty steadfast in the belief when they signed Roger, and he maintained that. But I think there needed to be some wiggle room at some point.
As from DY, Metcalf was out, no goal kicker when Johnson didn't play, lost a heap of games by 1 score or less, no field goal kicker. So all of these things come into play.
Does that improve next year now?
No, and that's the thing. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
And as good as James Fisher-Harris has been for Penrith, I thought he waned a little bit this year.
Were there signs?
That's what I'm saying, right? So I think if, he's going to bring so much off the field, right, to the Warriors. Him and Tohu are going to lead that 4-pack. They'll be outstanding. But I don't think he can reach the heights that Adam Fanua-Blake at his peak at the moment still can do or did for the Warriors.
Grading?
F.
I got a C-.
Off the back of what?
C-.
What was your anticipation heading into it for 24? You would have had him in your top 8.
I would have had him in the top 8, but I've got a C-. All right.
That's very generous.
We've got to wrap this show up.